Hi, Brandon Sutton with the Spirit of the Gulf Coast team. Earlier, on one of the earlier panels, we heard kind of some vilifying of social media and Facebook and Twitter and blogging. And on this panel, I noticed that you guys were utilizing those tools to get your message out. And I just wondered if you could sort of explain what role you see social media playing moving forward, particularly in keeping the public's eye on this, as we all know, is an ongoing process, and how you see social media being a positive force.
From the federal perspective, I would say that this was a bit unprecedented in using all of the social media tools that we had at our disposal, but it was effective, it was important, it was a great way to, as I said earlier, engage in that two-way dialogue. It was probably, I was going to say it was the first time that we fully utilized social media. I think sort of the test bed was Haiti, the Haiti response that we did in January, but it was phenomenal because, again, as a change, within the Joint Information Center structure, there is no social media element. And we created the social media element and we staffed the social media element with experts in the field because we realized that everybody's using it and we had to be a part of that conversation. To not be a part of that conversation would have been to have missed a huge part of the story. So we did engage in two-way conversation. We were able to, I think somebody talked earlier about rumors and misinformation. We were able to combat a lot of misinformation through Facebook and those different types of forums. So I think now it's the new normal. I think that it is going to, at least from a public affairs perspective, it's something that we've discussed, that these changes do need to be made, that it does need to be written into the Joint Information Center, that it has to be part of our training to figure out how to use it adequately and how to staff that adequately. But I think from my perspective, it was very successful.
So I'll add to that. Early on in the administration, my boss, Dr. Lubchenko, was traveling with Admiral Allen, coming out of the Coast Guard. They were in Alaska on a trip, and the only way I knew what she was up to was to read Admiral Allen's Facebook page. That's where I got my pictures, and that's where I got my updates. So I just said to my folks, I said, get on it. This is crazy. I want a Facebook page for Dr. Lubchenko and a Facebook page for NOAA. So I hope we're all fans of our Facebook page at NOAA and Dr. Lubchenko's Facebook page. And I want it ready before she gets back from Alaska, because I guarantee you she's going to want it. And she did. So, and it was classic as well. It was, when I asked for it, well, you can't do that. I'm like, well, Admiral Allen's doing it. Well, you can, but it's hard. I'm like, well, all right, how hard is it? Well, you got to go to a review committee. I'm like, well, get me to the review committee. So you just had to push through it, but we do it, and I'm with you. I think it is the new norm, and I'm using Twitter. Noah's using Twitter. I invite you to follow me on Twitter as well, and follow the NOAA Twitter feed. But I think we're using it. I'm not saying that we're using it as effectively as we can. It's probably getting way into the weeds. Maybe it's helpful. I don't have a person on my staff that manages our social media, a director of social media. So I borrow a person who does it 1 day a week and 2 hours a day. So that's how we're managing it for now. But that's definitely where we're going, and we need to do it better.